Shalom, giving all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakadash. Double honors unto the elders and apostles of great millstone that rule well, and shalom to all of the Akim that are teaching this word with faith and truth and sincerity. I'm the brother Caleb from the GMS, England, London Forecasters Camp, back with another lesson to help edify the Lord's elect. So, this is for you Israelites, the real Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Hispanics, Native Americans, West Indians, and West Africans, mainly. But you are going to find Israelites that do look like the other nations because we've been scattered amongst all the nations throughout our various captivities. But if your seed line by your forefathers goes back to the man in the Bible named Israel, then you too are an Israelite no matter what you may look like. Okay? So this is an article that I was just reading and I thought it'd be edifying to speak on. Fuck this shit, what's this doing there? Pop-ups. I was reading this article and I thought it'd be edifying to speak on, so I'm going to do a lesson on it. So it says, this is from inews.co.uk. It says, stop recycling juice cartons, toothpaste tubes and takeaway boxes to reduce waste, government says. Now this is ironic because, I'm going to keep it real, man. I've always known that this recycling shit is bullshit. Because just through, basic observation, you can see that most products that end up in the recycle bin are contaminated. So how the hell are they going to be recycled? But then the government came out and they're making this big push. Oh, you got to recycle, you got to do your bit for the planet. And they give you 3 fucking bins. One for plastic and glass, one for food waste, and another for general waste. And they try and fine your ass if you put something in the wrong box. Like if you put a flipping plastic box in your food waste bin by accident, you get people coming around and fucking snooping in your bins and posting letters through your box saying if you don't take this out of your bin by such and such a date, you may be fined. So, Esau's full of shit, man. Esau's full of shit. And this just goes to show that his whole system of so-called recycling is BS. Let me read this and I'll get some precepts. It says ministers are set to launch a crackdown on wish cycling when well-meaning people try to recycle items that should be thrown away instead. You see, this is confusion, isn't it? And what did the scriptures say? The Most High is not the author of confusion. Esau's made this so fucking difficult that people don't know where to put the right waste. But it goes to show that Esau is a poor ruler because the materials he's using to make products in the first place, a lot of them are non-biodegradable. So all he's been doing is polluting the earth ever since he's been in rulership, because he can't run the earth in its correct proper order because he was not made to do that. He was made to be against the laws of the Most High. Now when you break down the laws of the Bible, they're all about living in harmony with the planet and the ecosystem. And when you do that, the ecosystem works in your benefit. When you transgress it, it works against you, which goes back to Genesis, the 4th chapter, one of the curses that fell upon Cain. Just get it while it's on fresh on my mind. In Genesis, the 4th chapter, it says, right, Genesis 4 verse 9. Yahweh said unto Cain, where is Abel thy brother? And he said, I know not. Am I my brother's keeper? This is after Cain had murdered Abel. And it says, and he said, what hast thou done? The voice of thy brother's blood crieth unto me from the ground. Here's the point. And now thou art cursed from the earth, which hath opened her mouth to receive thy brother's blood from thy hand. When thou tillest the ground, it shall not henceforth yield unto thee her strength. A fugitive and a vagabond thou shalt be in the earth. Let's read this again. Genesis 4 verse 12. This is the curses upon these so-called white people, these Edomites, right? When thou tillest the ground, it shall not henceforth yield unto thee her strength. A fugitive and a vagabond thou shalt be in the earth. So let's get back to this article. Now I'll let you know why Esau's system is failing. It says ministers are set to launch a crackdown on wish cycling when well-meaning people try to recycle items that should be thrown away instead. People are warned that they need to put less in their recycling bins as part of a government overhaul of waste disposal, I can reveal. Ministers want to launch a crackdown on wish cycling when well-meaning people try to recycle items that cannot actually be processed, see? Which contaminates the recycling chain. Exactly, so this whole recycling thing is a farce because so many things that would contaminate the process. So this is why the government's trying to do this flipping crackdown. They are set to ask households in England to be more selective in what they recycle. Yeah, that's after fucking trying to guilt trip everybody into recycling absolutely everything. They're set to ask households in England to be more selective in what they recycle, in the hope that this will drive up recycling rates by reducing the volume of material which needs to be separated at waste processing centres and sent to landfill. See, you can tell this is a system that cannot work. It's beyond the realm of Esau's sphere to make this thing work because he's cursed. So it says, among the commonly recycled items which should normally be thrown in the bin instead are soft plastic bags, toothpaste tubes, crisp packets. But hang on a minute, I thought them crisp packets had them flipping triangles which show recyclable on it. Isn't that irony for your ass? Crisp packets, wet cardboard, dirty takeaway boxes and juice cartons. These either need to be specialist recycling treatment or are so contaminated that they cannot be processed properly. Some of those can be taken to large recycling centres but should not be put in household recycling. Duh. So what the fuck's the point in having a recycle symbol on? Full details of the new guidance are set to be published later this summer. Ministers also want to work with manufacturers to update the guidelines for packaging in future so that products which should not be recycled are not marked with the recycling logo. I understand. See, there you go. The whole system is a fucking farce. The whole system is a fucking farce. And I'll tell you a secret. For the longest time, I've taken great pleasure in contaminating the recycling bins. Yeah, I take pleasure in that because I'm like, you know what, man, if it fucks up Esau's system, then I'm all for it, man. So yeah, you know, you put your rubbish in the bin, and sometimes you can slip a little something in there, knowing full well that it will contaminate the recycle chain and further well upset this man's system. So yeah, fuck you, Esau, and fuck your recycling bullshit. The Local Government Association, LGA, also wants the government to provide clearer messaging around compostable and biodegradable plastic, which has become increasingly popular but cannot be recycled with other forms of plastic. So again, the whole system is a farce. It is more than 2 years since a consultation into consistency in household and business recycling in England was launched by the Department for Environment, Food and Rural Affairs, DEFRA, in order to simplify the existing patchwork of rules. Yeah, good luck with that. When its conclusions are finally revealed, they will include new regulations requiring every council to collect paper and card, plastics, metal cans, and glass bottles and jars. They will also need to collect food and garden waste separately, meaning every household will have at least 2 different recycling bins. Some have even got 3 at the moment. Councils will have to explain how they separate different waste streams such as plastic and paper in order to justify mingling them into a single bin, raising concerns with critics that families could end up having to maintain as many as half a dozen receptacles. A spokesman from DEFRA said, "We want to make waste and recycling collection simpler and more convenient for homeowners, including BLY preventing food waste from contaminating recyclable materials. This forms part of our drive to increase recycling rates reducing our impact on our environment, and contributing to our net zero ambitions. Yeah, good luck with that. All this net zero shit goes back to Bill Gates's TED talk, where they were talking about how they could cut down carbon emissions or whatever, and they were talking about population reduction in that. So yeah, man, this is all part of Esau's agenda. It says we have held a public consultation on the proposed changes and will announce further details shortly. The LGA has called for extra funding to help local authorities cope with the additional expectations being placed on them by the new rules. The spokesman said every neighbourhood is different and councils need flexibility in how they meet these ambitions in communities. What works for a rural village, for example, will not be the same for a tower block. Longer term, we look forward to working with government, packaging producers and the waste industry and communities in reducing waste and safeguarding our environment. Good luck with that, because this place is going up in flames. That's going to be the final solution. 2 Peter, the 3rd chapter. Flames, baby. Flames. Flames. That will be the solution. Second Peter 3 verse 5, for this they are willingly ignorant of, that by the word of God the heavens were of old, and the earth standing out of the water and in the water, whereby the world that was then, being overflowed with water, perished. But the heavens and the earth, which are now, by the same word are kept in store, reserved unto fire, against the day of judgment and perdition of ungodly men. So who's the most ungodly man on the planet? The Edomite, the descendants of Cain's, these Edomites, right? So this is the day of judgment again, and perdition, meaning destruction of ungodly men. So these Edomites are going to be destroyed. But beloved, be not ignorant of this one thing, that one day with the Lord is as 1,000 years, and 1,000 years as one day. The Lord is not slack concerning his promise, as some men count slackness, but is long-suffering to usward, not willing that any should perish, but that all should come to repentance. Here's the point. But the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night, in the which the heavens shall pass away with great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat, and the earth also, and the works that are therein, i.e. all this pollution and waste, shall be burned up. Seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved, that's the solution. What manner of persons ought ye to be in all holy conversation and godliness, looking for and hastening unto the coming day of God, wherein the heavens being on fire shall be dissolved, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. Nevertheless, we according to his promise look for new heavens and a new earth, wherein dwelleth righteousness. So that's what we're looking for, man. So fuck you, Esau, and your shitty recycling plans. They're all going to come to naught. So without giving all praises, honor and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Makakadash, double honors unto the elders and apostles of Great Millstone that rule well. Shalom to the Archean teaching this word with faith and truth and sincerity. And I'm out for this, and I'll catch you on the next, Lord willing. Shalom for now. Wa abba ba. Wa kam Shalom.